He said he does not speak unto men, but he speaks the language of angels. He said in the natural, he's not making sense. How be it in the spirit, he's talking mysteries. That means when you start praying, something happens to you. The first thing that happens to you is that you migrate from the domain of men. You come into the company of angels. That's why he said, the prayer we pray, he says, the language of angels. That means there is a time and there is a place you pray to, that you quit talking among men, you begin to talk among angels. And when you come into the company of angels, it is the things the angels experience that you experience. It's the authorities the angels wield that you wield. It's the things that can happen to those angels that can happen to you. This is why prayer makes men invincible. I told you here the other day, I said we are not ordinary men. We are God men. There's a lot of mystery associated to us. When we start praying, what we do is that we travel from the domain of men. The first place we come to is the domain of angels. That's why you see certain men, they carry so much authority, so much honor, and you are wondering, are people worshiping them? They are not ordinary men. They have ceased to live among men. They have begun to live among the angelic. So when men see them, the things that would have happened to those men if they encountered angels will begin to happen to them when they encounter those men. You will see some men, even though they told you not to kneel down before men, when you see them in the public, you will know when you will lie down. You will go back and say, but why did I lie down? That is what you would have done if you met an angel. Because prayer unlocks the angelic realm. Did you not read in Acts chapter 12? He said, as prayers was made of the church for Peter, he said, an angel of the Lord descended and smote Peter and told him, get up. And Peter stood up. Peter was walking with him. The soldiers fell down as dead men. He said they came to the gate. He said the gate opened on their own accord. He came to the gate that led to the city. The gate opened. At that point, Peter was functioning like an angel. The soldiers were not seeing the angel. They saw Peter, they fainted. Because the prayer had mobilized Peter to an angelic order. Did you read Acts 16 verse 25? He said as Paul was praying at midnight, he said the angel of the Lord descended. He said the foundation of the prison was shaken and the chains fell off, the doors opened. When the warder came in, he wanted to kill himself. Paul said no, don't. He saw Paul, he fell down and worshipped him. Why? The prayer had moved Paul to the angelic realm. Paul at that point began to function like an angel. Why? He said, are they not ministering spirits sent to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation? There's a place you pray to, you literally begin to operate like an angel. You are not an ordinary man. Make no mistakes about it. God dwells in you. And when you continue like that, a point comes when you leave the realm of angels, you come to the realm of God. He said, we know not what to pray for as we ought to. He said, for the Spirit helpeth our infirmities with groanings that cannot be uttered. At that point, you become so one with God that God begins to pray on your inside. So when you come out, men will see a God. Men will look at you and literally want to worship you. People who don't know what has happened in the secret place will look at you and say, all these pastors have been worshiping. Brainwash what? Do you know what it means to brainwash people? The people sitting here, some of them are 20, 30 years older than me. How can I brainwash them? Some people sitting here are trained doctors, trained lawyers, trained engineers. Some people sitting here have worked for the past 20 years. They've met all kinds of people. What do you mean brainwash? When you grow in prayer, you grow into the angelic order. And there's a realm where you grow into the divine order. Naturally, people will begin to honor you as they will honor God. And it's not about the preacher, it's about every believer. Did you not read about Daniel? The Bible said the king knelt down and worshipped him. Do you know who Daniel was? Daniel was the slave of the king. But through priesthood, Daniel became a god in Babylon. The king knelt down for his slave and worshipped him. What happened to the guy? He has become a god man. You are not disadvantaged. The problem is that you have not started praying. If you start praying, you will discover that you will not only have access to the voice of God, you will not only carry the presence of God, you will not only travel in the spirit, but you begin to walk in your world like a God. Because the God that is hiding on your inside God does. Because as you pray, a point comes, the God life starts being stirred. Even Jesus knew the technology. Hope you know Jesus became a man. So when Jesus struggled with men and it doesn't work, he goes back to the mountain. And the Bible said, as he prayed, he said the fashion of his countenance was altered. His raiment began to glister. The same Jesus they were arguing with, when he's coming down from the mountain, everybody comes to him and says, Master, what has happened? He had clothed himself with the God dimension. The disciples thought it was about oil. He gave them oil at first. They went out and cast demons. When they came back the second time to cast out another demon, the demon started slapping them. And they are wondering, is it not we who cast demons yesterday? When you cast out demons yesterday with oil, today you need another glory. And when Jesus came down, the same demonized person saw him and fell down. And he said, leave him, let him go. The only way to function as a God is to ensure that by prayer you are constantly traveling in the spirit. Most of us have only traveled to Kenya. We have only traveled to Ghana. We have traveled to Guinea. And when we come back, we say, I've gone around the world. I was in Benin Republic last week. Thank God for your journeys. But I would rather travel to heaven than to go to the United States. I would rather go to the realm where God dwells than to go to where man dwells. And come back and feel a false sense of importance. What is the big deal traveling to London? What is the big deal traveling to Ghana? What is the big deal traveling to Kenya? Are they not men dwelling there? What makes it important is because I went there on a kingdom assignment. But for me to feel important that I travel to the US so something has added to me is a sign that I'm falling. Because every day I either encounter angels or I encounter the God of heaven. And when I come down, I can be in Africa here. People from the US will follow me. Because it's not about where you go in the natural, it's about where you go in the spirit. And many people here by prayer, they will begin to travel. And as they travel in the spirit, your sons and your daughters will come from afar. Strangers will stand to build your walls. Because you are not disadvantaged. You are the help that the world is looking for.